Hello again, welcome back inside the Tier 4 studio here in Morgantown, West Virginia. For the Charleston Gazette Mail, I am Mike Casazza. You were here for part 7, our 2015 and 15 countdown, inching closer toward the start of preseason camp at West Virginia University. That will be August 3rd. That will also be the final installment of our countdown, and that is really when things get going. So let's get going today. We'll talk about Miramar High School. It seems silly to single one school out. One school in South Florida, one school in the country, one school that a major college football program depends on, but this is where we are today. This is why we're here. Is this a big year for the Patriots program and how it relates to WVU? I would argue yes. This has been the pipeline school for quite some time, but it has been quite some time since it really followed through on a lot of the buzz around the impact. It has been many years now since Geno Smith was throwing touchdown passes to Stephen Bailey, since West Virginia was hanging up 70 points at the Orange Bowl in the shadow of Miramar, and everybody thought it was going to flow freely and pour talent into the locker room. It hasn't really followed through. Now, again, it is a bit unusual to just point out one school. A program depends on many states, many schools, but Miramar and the offense has been synonymous for quite some time. But it's changing. The most recent recruiting class was a bit unusual if you think about it. It did get 2 very good players, but 4 players who had been connected or committed or at least considered to be going to West Virginia. Never followed through on that hunch, and good players too. Safety Kendrell McFadden was one of West Virginia's top targets early in the class. Committed, never showed up. Khalil Lewis, a top receiver target. Committed, changed his mind and went to Cincinnati right before signing day. Running back Alex Anderson, offensive lineman Leeward Brown, similar situations, committed or connected and didn't follow through. Now there's explanations there. Lewis just changed his mind, went to another place. Other players just had academic problems or just didn't have very good seasons and the mutual interest dissolved. That happens in recruiting. But 4 players, 4 targets, and then 4 vacancies on signing day. Now West Virginia did fill up the signing class, so it's not like those 4 players left West Virginia looking, but it does show you at least the situation at present there. Now, to be really fair, West Virginia did get 2 very good players from Miramar this year. Cornerback Tyree Cole, receiver Javon Durant. Only Durant, though, is on campus. So out of the 6 players from Miramar who were aiming at West Virginia at one point, just one is on campus. Cole may still show up, but what we know is that Dana Holgorsen, his recruiting, his academic people, will not let players around the program, on campus, enrolled, whatever, if they're academic question marks. So no Cole right now doesn't mean no Cole forever. Doesn't mean no Cole until the start of camp. We don't know. We just know that coaches would love to have their players around in the summer. Cole hasn't been able to do that yet. We also know Durant looks like a player. I know Dana Holgorsen said that Shelton Gibson may be the fastest receiver he's been around. I've had people tell me that Durant is the fastest of the bunch. So at the very worst, he's in that conversation. Seems like he'll play early this season. He has a chance to make an impact on offense or on special teams. A highly recruited player, wanted at many times by different programs and different conferences throughout the country. Remember, connected to Alabama for a while too, but ultimately ending up at West Virginia. Cole, also similar player, coveted by many schools, was committed to Florida State for a while, ended up at West Virginia. Offensively, defensively, 2 of the top talents in the state, and according to many, 2 of the top talents at their position in the country. Where does it go from there for those 2? We don't know. We also know that West Virginia has 2 players who have been around for a little bit who are from Miramar and frankly have to play well this season. Yadni Kajust was one of the most pleasant surprises of spring football. He was part of the 2014 recruiting class, and people didn't really know where he was going to go. Offensive lineman, defensive lineman. Well, he settled in at offensive line and really blossomed during the spring, was the #1 left tackle toward the end. Broke a finger, couldn't play in the spring game, but it does seem the team believes that he can be the starter, at least at the outset of camp here. Can he hold off challengers? Can he resist something that we've talked about before, a change where Adam Pankey moves from left guard back to left tackle where he started last season, and create space for Kyle Bosch, a former blue chip recruit in Michigan who has played at this level before? We don't know. And what about the receiver position? Devontae Mathis has been around for a long time now, and coaches have been waiting for him to do something. They need outside receivers to give him some depth, some spark, something. It's not just looking for replacements for Kevin White and Mario Alford outside. It's looking for people who can support Da'Keil Shorts and Shelton Gibson. They want Mathis to be one of those guys. He didn't catch a pass last year. He caught 7 passes for 82 yards the year before. It's a now or never moment for him. And then finally, Damon Cogdell was the head coach at Miramar. He's one of the defensive line coaches right now. He was, let's just say, involved by whatever logic or whatever explanation you want with the scandal at Miramar this past season. He was here on campus coaching, but when his successor resigned, he really dragged Mr. Cogdell under the bus with him. Tried to do a number on his reputation, alleging things about paying players, fudging transcripts, just doing unethical things for coaches. Nothing ever came of that, not from down at Miramar, not from West Virginia. Nobody could ever find anything to substantiate that. But he's also the defensive line coach right now, and West Virginia needs really good play from its defensive line. He'll have help from Bruce Tall. Cogdell is still a young coach, only his second year of college coaching. It does not hurt to be around Tom Bradley one year and Bruce Tall the next. This could be a big year for Cogdell, just for his personal development as a coach, and also maybe the connection back to Miramar to keep things going there. Miramar does have a new coach. That coach does not have a lengthy relationship with West Virginia. The school does, the players do. Cogdell remains a very big figure there. There's reason to believe this thing could get pointed in the right direction again, and they can open up the spigot, keep that talent pouring into the locker room. The Charleston Gazette Mail, I'm Mike Casazza. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time.